I'd like to tell you about a show of epic proportions.
I prefer me some magic when I'm trying to get in and out of houses undetected. I prefer me some magic.
A show where the boundaries are pushed.
I like spam. Is there something wrong with that?
No, nothing at all. If you prefer meat with jelly on top of it, go right ahead.
I'd like to tell you about that show, but that is not this show. This show is the Fortean Slip, with host Chris York.
I have a tendency to go to dark places with my humor. It is what it is. It's not going to change anytime soon.
Co-host Steve Alcorn.
It was so earth-shaking and mind-blowing that even John Teeter in the future knows about it.
And reoccurring, ever-present special guest, Matt Knapp.
Yeah, somebody should have put out like a giant bug zapper and just ended that whole Mothman debacle.
A show that lacks taste, a filter, and listeners.
Are you listening? Are you like hearing the fucking fart?
Yeah!
Right, not just smelling it, you're hearing
Not
the shit.
just smelling. Audible as well.
That would be something else.
Whoa!
But
You
well,
have
I do.
parts that you can't tell if it was you or not?
Well, yeah, because
What you are about to hear may be offensive, but we don't really give a fuck.
Good evening, and welcome to the Fortean Slip. Tonight, it's episode 47. Anal probes are for rookies. Tonight we take a look at the movie Alien Abduction and alien abductions in general.
Crap, I watched Space Jam.
Has Steve been abducted? Has he had something stuck in his ass? Maybe in a restroom, but we're not
That's
sure if
two
it's been in a
separate
UFO.
there's two separate questions there. I won't answer either, though.
Oh, shit. So, yeah, we took a look at the movie. I think it was released in, like, 2012 or...
No, it said 2014.
Oh, 14? This year?
Yeah, it's new.
It's brand spanking new, man.
Wow.
State-of-the-art technology.
It's just fucking decades ahead of the rest.
Oh, wait, before our fans get upset, spoiler alert. There, now I said it.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Too true. Too true.
Yeah, so we took a look at this fine gem of a found footage movie.
Spoiler alert for all those people that are up at like 4 o'clock in the morning looking on Netflix for something to watch.
Yeah. Now, this is one of those movies where I applaud the idea.
You're about the only one.
I applaud the idea behind it. Like, but the execution,
It was like watching Willow Creek, the Bobcats movie, but the acting was worse. Just saying.
Yeah, the acting was not good.
Mm-mm.
Like, I didn't care about any of them at all.
I didn't even think the acting wasn't good. I didn't think the plot was good. I didn't think the tempo was good. I didn't think the effects were good. I didn't even think like the synthetic or fake found footage look was good.
Right.
They didn't even pull that off.
No, because this is one thing I noticed about it as I was watching it. If you notice, there are certain sections of it where the fucking footage is crystal fucking clear, and it just has like the digital readout on the top, and then you go to like a night scene, and it's obviously done with a different type of camera.
Well, it's a different filter. You know, they used all these filters, and like you're gonna have to pick a place to start, because yeah. Like, can we talk about the autistic boy for a second?
Wait, all right.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I'll have my thoughts.
See, I get what you're saying about the plot and the tempo, but here's what I mean about it. Like, the idea behind it, I kind of like. That the aliens weren't, like, all good and nice, and, you know, they were fucking, like, rotten and just horrible shit happened to people. Like, that part of it I liked. Like, that idea, like, what the road they were going down. But I'm with you. The tempo was off. Like, the way they did it, the way it was shot, yeah, okay, so, yeah, we'll go back. So, this fucking family is on vacation. What is it? The Brown Mountains are in... Brown Mountains in where?
North Carolina.
North Carolina. So they're on vacation by Brown Mountain in North Carolina.
Which are historically famous.
Yes.
And
the mysterious lights.
Right.
So.
And this movie starts off with, yes, this footage was leaked by the U.S. Air Force, blah 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 blah. And
they would have it. We don't know.
And it starts off and the movie starts off like at the end. Kind of.
Yeah.
They show the footage from the end. They did the exact same thing that they did in Willow Creek, which kind of pissed me off.
It's like they were like sharing notes with Bobcat or something.
But that's like a thing that's been done 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's that. Then the movie opens with this family. They're in the vehicle. They're traveling to this fucking campsite. They get there. Was it the first night they're there? They see the lights in the sky. They film them.
Bam.
Instantly.
Yeah, and these fucking lights, pew pew, like everything, it like boom, like right in your face, all of a sudden. You know, so I was like, oh, okay. And then they cut to the next day, and all of a sudden, whoa. Cut to. Hold on, you can go back. Cut to the next day, and all of a sudden they're fucking lost. The GPS has them fucking lost. GPS has them fucking lost. Not like a cell signal. The GPS has them fucking lost. Okay, so. And then the shenanigans begin. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Matt, I give the floor to the gentleman from from the Red Man State.
Yeah, the Trail of Tears State, as we're going by now. Yeah. So, I mean, first off, the thing is, filmed first person through the eyes of a young autistic boy.
Correct.
And I've met numerous individuals with autism. I'm familiar with it. And, like, this kid didn't even act like he was autistic.
Not even for a second.
Not for a second. And then just like, as you said, they go camping in the mountains, and the first night they're there, they see the lights, the mysterious lights, and of course he's the one that sees them and wakes everybody up and like, oh, it was the lights, and apparently mom and dad, like, slept through it or something. I don't know. But then they left their campsite and were on their way to a different campsite for some reason. Whenever, like you said, they got lost and the GPS screwed them up and everything. Why didn't they just go to the campsite to begin with? Why did they have to camp in this other spot first and then, like, relocate to this other campsite? Today we're moving to a new campsite, and they all cheer, like, yay! And whenever the shenanigans hit, like, I don't want to jump forward too much, but it was like one thing after another, it was like, oh, the GPS quit working, like, oh, why isn't it working? Oh, we're out of gas. But there was, like, just this moment when the dad just starts losing it. And he's, just like all of a sudden, this aggressive person, where he's been, like, totally calm and laid back beforehand. But there was no build up to that. like, watching the movie, I honestly thought, like, oh, he must be under mind control or something by the aliens. Something must be going on here. And then it turns out, like, no, he was just supposed to be getting stressed out over that 2-minute period of time.
He didn't want the camera in his face, Matt.
Get out of my face!
He wasn't a very convincing angry dad. But he was an angry dad, I guess.
But we're traveling towards my favorite of the night, so...
Ooh, yay.
Okay,
I'll just let you guys run with it.
So they get to this tunnel where all these cars, and this is the part that really bothered me. Like, there is a slew of people who have been abducted. Like, it's not like one or two people. It's not like a fucking handful. It's like half a fucking town.
And they're all in SUVs.
Yeah, and the cops have been fucking abducted. Everybody's fucking been abducted. So, I mean, they're going through this tunnel, and then this is where we first see said creatures, whatever they are. We will assume they're aliens.
Yes.
We will assume. So yeah, this it's one of those shocking moments where like the face appears and boom and the music comes up and fucking there's like sound. Is it music or sound? Yeah. I don't know.
It was like War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise.
Yeah, it was really fucking weird every time that you would see it. Like there was these action beats that would you're supposed to be scared right now. I see what they were going for, I guess. But overall it didn't work, I don't think. Because you were constantly looking for it. I think that was the thing that I found myself doing through the whole movie, as I found myself constantly looking for that section where the thing was going to pop up or be or whatever to try and scare me.
Yeah, and it was always just like a bunch of loud noise.
Right.
Like they were going for the startle effect the whole time.
And, it basically just like, I mean, I don't want to go too, it kind of spoiled the movie, so we had said spoiler alert, but, I don't want to like give away too much, but, it just kind of whittles everybody down one by one. And you kind of know at the outset that everybody's fucked. Like, from the opening scene, everybody's fucked.
Well, yeah.
If you've ever watched any found footage movie ever, you know that everybody's fucked up.
You find the footage, not the people.
Yeah.
And it's always the cameraman who dies last, right?
Oh, Steve, look at you.
Listen,
I'm
going to direct a found footage movie where the cameraman bites it first. It's going to be a 5-minute film.
But, like, the
no plot line.
It starts out, like you said, with the ending and everything. I won't go to it too far, but, like, the effects they used, like, I assume at this point, said character was on the alien craft, and like things were being done or whatever. But it was like it's like the director took like one of those Afghans, those loosely knitted Afghans, and like
put it over the camera,
shined a flashlight into the camera.
Yeah,
I think you just figured it out, Matt.
I mean, that's the kind of effects we're talking about.
That's kind of what it looked like.
But I do want to touch on one main character, and that would be, of course, the mountain man.
The hillbilly?
Their savior, the hillbilly.
The hillbilly.
Who I would like to nominate for worst Appalachian accent ever. I know he was going for that, like, that Appalachian mountain man accent, but he was sounding more like a pissed off Forrest Gump the entire time. Like, he never nailed it, and it would come off and on. Like, there was varying degrees of accent. And, like, the whole getting pissed off. Like, that was the nicest redneck hillbilly. I mean, it starts out like, pointing his gun in their face, like, get off my land, and then, like, instantly, he's like, get behind me, come inside.
Come inside, get in the house.
And he's like, are you going to point that damn camera in my face? I get it, man. It's okay, man.
It's okay.
Well, then why are you getting pissed off about anything? If everything's all right.
And how many times could that motherfucker run off into the night and fucking still be alive?
Yeah.
Like I was like, fucking, he's definitely done. Like, and then
He
all of a
goes out
sudden
by
he
himself.
comes back.
Comes back A-okay. He gets in a vehicle with the family, and just within 5 minutes, he's out.
Within
It's done.
No, within 5 minutes, he's no. You forget. They run into the craft.
Well, that's right.
And
he makes it again.
And he tells him, he's like, fucking, you go here. And they go. and then, you know, he fucking, like, drives off after the craft shooting at him. And then,
Okay, see, that's the thing. That's where you have bad writing. Okay? Because he told them to take the trail down here and it will take you to this barn. And at one point, after they lose sight of him, they're on the trail and they are like, did he say which direction to go? They made it a point to have that line in the movie. Because typically you put that line in the movie because they're going to take the wrong path.
And then they don't.
But instead, these people just walk straight to the barn.
right.
And it's like 10 feet away from where they're...
Yeah. And like that barn wasn't attached to any property. There wasn't a house there.
It's just like,
like this whole
just lit up
barn.
like a fucking Christmas tree.
Yeah, in the middle of the mountains.
I think this whole movie was shot in some guy's, one of the producers' backyards or something. To be honest.
Dude,
Shot it.
Here, I had two
Plot
beefs with this
31.
movie. My first beef with this movie was when the movie first opens, it says Project Blue Book, case number, whatever, 2011.
Yeah.
Project Blue Book closed in 1969, first of all. So unless they're trying to suggest somehow that Project Blue Book secretly is still ongoing. And then the second beef, the worst part of this for me was they're supposed to be out in the middle of nowhere on this backcountry road, which is paved, by the way.
Yes, very well kept.
yeah.
There's one mailbox, and for some reason the kid keeps repeating the mailbox number. I think that's the only autistic thing he did in the whole movie.
Right.
Autistic people tend to do that. But I thought there was a meaning behind the mailbox number, and there wasn't.
But he wasn't repeating it like an autistic kid would repeat
No, he
it.
just said it a couple times.
Mailbox 31. 31.
Anyway, so then they get to the tunnel, and there's like 30 cars in there. Out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
That was what I was talking about earlier. It's like this.
I know.
It's like a whole fucking town was out there in the middle of nowhere.
But how does that play into the... that's what I mean. The guy never said how far the town was away, but he kept mentioning the town, and, my brother went to town and all this bullshit. But so I assume it must have been close.
What about the anecdotal story he told him, trying to have like that deep thought moment of an Appalachian hillbilly where he was saying like, putting out a light to fish at night, attracting the fish, and like that's all they're doing is night fishing.
I fell asleep at that part.
Yeah. It was
Yeah,
horrible.
but that technically wasn't true. Because they got
it
abducted in the
wasn't.
middle of the fucking day.
Ah!
Like, and
Oh,
the one thing that I did like, I seriously, I did like it, was the whole fucking, like, the contorting of the fucking bodies when they were fucking...
When the mom got abducted,
The mom,
that was my favorite
the
part.
mom and the hillbilly. I don't know why, but that fucking sound, that crunching sound, and that fucking the
Just
breaking
on
of
the back breaking.
I was just like, fucking A.
When the mom got folded in half, that was my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this isn't one of those abductions where they put you back and erase your memory.
Yeah, no.
Well, did you guys happen to watch the movie all the way through, even the credits?
No.
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 So that means you missed something.
What did we miss there, Mr. Steve Alcorn?
Well, I don't want to spoil it for you. You should go back and watch it.
It's already gone.
Always watch the fucking credits on a found footage movie. You have to.
All right, so what is it?
So 1 year later, there's a cop, and it's the worst. It just says North Carolina Police on his dash cam. Like the whole...
It covers the entire state.
Yes. So he's coming across this bridge into the little town, I assume. And then there's this naked guy. Yes, a naked guy instead of a naked woman like Willow Creek. And it's the dad. It's the dad. They returned him 1 year later. He says, I found another one. It appears to be the dad, and that was the end of it.
A year later,
1 year later.
found another one.
Okay, so,
Right.
so
they
broke
somebody else.
That means
they broke
found
the
rest of
mother
family.
in half, but the dad they returned okay.
Right.
Well, like you said, there's like a tunnel full of cars there. I found another one. I believe it's the dad.
Right. And then they did some
They're just
interviews
searching for the
with...
family.
If you've seen the interviews that they did, they look like fake interviews, but they were actually real people because I looked them up.
Yeah, Blair Witch did the same thing.
Right. So anyway, they did some more of those at the end of, after that. So,
Yeah, that's where I quit watching, was the fake interviews at the beginning of the movie.
That was like, I'm fucking tapped out right here.
Yeah, I know what happens.
Fucking assholes. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was mildly somewhat entertaining.
No, it wasn't.
It was mildly somewhat entertaining. I mean, come on, you made it through the movie. You know?
Yeah, because it was one of those movies
and you
that-
messaged me like almost when I was done, and you asked me, was I done with the movie? And what did I say? I'm struggling through it.
Yeah.
I believe my words were, "This is painful."
Yes. Yes.
But it was one of those movies that you could watch all the way through because we're doing a show about it.
It's the only reason I watched
But
it.
if we weren't doing a show about it, you might make it all the way through because you're always like waiting for that payoff that never happens.
What is it with naked people at the end of these fucking found footage movies, though?
I don't know. They like naked people in them.
Not attractive naked people either.
I don't know. I thought if it had been executed a little differently, if they hadn't have done it like my beef is was kind of the same as yours, Steve, with all the cars out in the middle of fucking nowhere. Like
And the dead birds.
all of these people.
Oh, the dead birds, yes.
Yeah,
What was the deal with the dead birds?
all of these people being abducted, all at the same time. It just seemed a little much. Like if they had done it simple, like if it had just been the family and maybe like a couple other people, like a cop, and another person, like the fucking hillbilly or something. If they had just stuck with something like that and built on it and gone a little, I don't know, given it a little more.
But these aliens were going through like Nazi foot soldiers on crystal meth, like they're like combing the hillsides looking for people to take.
Yeah, they were fucking just like going balls
They
deep.
should have just stayed in the fucking fruit cellar. If they had stayed in the fruit cellar, they'd have been safe.
Until the problem
But
had
no,
passed.
the fucking redneck made him get him out.
Hey, listen, he kept coming back. That guy was amazing. How can you not
Until he
believe?
got
How can you not
fucking-
believe in that guy? He kept going outside and coming back, and the dog went outside, and the dog came back. Fucking that guy was nothing but good luck.
I've never seen
They
anything
had
like
a
this
bicycle.
before.
What's that?
A bicycle.
Yeah,
That
bicycle.
got away.
Probably.
I don't know. I have a hard time with the found footage movies. And while I kind of liked the idea behind this one, yeah.
I think they could have done a much better
Oh, absolutely.
movie. Not a found. I'm going to officially pronounce the found footage genre dead after this fucking piece of shit. But they could have done a better movie on the Brown Mountain Lights phenomena. Even having alien abductions and whatever. But geez, this was just. They didn't even really
Yeah,
trying to
the
explain anything.
the found footage thing is it's very beat to death. It's like somebody's really seriously got to come along and do something interesting. Like the guy who did Chronicle there, I liked what he did with the found footage thing.
Yeah.
That one was all right. Willow Creek, we did the rundown on that fucking thing on this show. We all know what I thought of that. It was fucking, I was not a big fan.
It was better than this one.
I don't know what I fucking watched.
I thought it was better than this one. I mean, because some of our complaints were, there was so many people that were abducted.
Yeah.
Well, in that movie, there was only 2.
Yeah, no,
so
I'd have to say I probably liked Willow Creek a little better than this movie. But not by much.
But they both sucked.
Yeah. So, I don't know what they can do with a fucking found footage movie. Especially, within the genre that we're talking about, the UFOs, paranormal,
right.
Bigfoot. I don't know what they can do.
I know what I could do.
What do you? All right,
better than that piece of shit.
You tell us, Matt. Come on, you got the platform right here. Yeah, someday.
That's all I'm saying.
Put up, bitch.
I think I think I said this after the Willow Creek review, that if we all got together with our iPhones, we could probably film a better movie. Just saying.
You're probably
right.
Harsh. You're not far off though.
What kind of budget do you need to make a movie like that?
You really
Zero.
Probably are not far off. There was nothing like really spectacular besides a lot of bright lights, some creepy looking fucking alien things that you probably could make with some costumes, and just film it fucked up. Because that's the other thing that's the other thing that they did to hide the aliens, was every time the aliens were on camera, his camera fucked up. Like if they were going to be around, you'd see the camera would start going.
I think the only reason that they must be here.
Except the first time that we saw them.
The only reason that they even mentioned that the kid was autistic is to explain why he had the camera going all the time. So, because that was his comfort. He needed that camera all the time.
He needed to film. I need to film. Let me film.
That's what all autistic people do.
I must film it. I do everything as a theater.
They could have just said he was a budding filmographer or whatever they call it. But no.
He could have just been a kid with a camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
didn't really need to explain.
Him having autism had no bearing on the story whatsoever.
Like he could have taken like an alien selfie.
Yeah.
I had a retard cousin once. That was my favorite, or whatever he said. That redneck guy.
Once. Because like something happened to him?
My favorite line of the movie.
You got me with that one, Steve.
Well, it was fun. So. Holy shit. I just got a notification from Facebook. They now have Duck Dynasty slots you can play. Sweet. Speaking of rednecks and all.
Yeah. On that note,
I believe that would be a cue.
Steve.
I want to give my thumbs up, thumbs down to this thing.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, like it wasn't like readily apparent that none of us fucking liked it.
I'm gonna have to say 2 thumbs chopped off my hand, flushed down the toilet, and in the sewer.
How many times, Matt, have we told him not to try? To just be.
I thought it was genius.
Just to talk. Just be Steve Alcorn. Don't try to be funny. No, that was trying to be funny.
Was it? I try to be funny all the time. Hey, that sounds like my knees cue.
That is, because I want you to stop.
Oh. All right, so our first story tonight is from Reuters.com, and it's about space.
Is that like a steroid website, or?
No, I
Yes.
think it's some sort of news conglomerate.
Yes.
Reuters.com.
It's owned by Schwarzenegger and fucking Stallone.
Reuters. Or is it Reuters? Reuters.
Whatever you want.
Reuters.
Whatever floats your boat.
Anyway, so those crazy Japanese folks are sending Hello Kitty into space.
Do they know she's not real?
Well, we'll find out. Hello Kitty, Japan's ambassador of cute, is on a government-funded mission to space. The project to launch Sanrio Company Ltd's White Cat with a Pink Bow into orbit is part of Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's...
Hello Kitty is not a cat.
What is it then?
It's a little girl.
It's a cat.
No,
No,
it's
no,
not.
no, no, no.
No, it's not.
No.
What did I miss? I'm not a big Hello Kitty fan, so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Well, neither am I, Steve, but it's been all over the news for the past week
That's
that Hello
right.
Kitty's
See, and our newsman.
a news guy.
Well, I don't typically research Hello Kitty stories. I'm just saying.
You're reading one now.
One that Chris sent to me.
Steve, I don't
Yes.
research Hello Kitty stories. I don't.
Well, you're the one who...
Excuse me. I don't watch the news,
I don't either.
but I heard about this.
Okay. Well, you'll have to explain it to me then. Not now.
Continue.
Okay. Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's push to promote Japan's high-tech industry and engineer economic growth. A 4-centimeter, or for us Americans, 1.6-inch tall Hello Kitty figure is aboard the Hodoyoshi 3 satellite, looking through a window at Earth, Sanrio announced this week. The satellite, which is about the size of a large trash can, was developed by Japanese researchers as part of a $40 million program funded by the Education and Science Ministry. The goal of the project is to get more private companies interested in working with satellites, said Toshiki Tanaka, researcher in charge of the project at University of Tokyo's Nano Satellite Center.
Tanaka.
Tanaka.
Wasn't he the guy in like Rising Sun
I don't know, but that name does sound
with
familiar.
Connery and Snipes? Kohai and Senpai.
Toshiki
Karate.
Tanaka.
Yeah.
Maybe Tanaka's,
High
just a
karate.
common...
Fuck.
I used to wear high karate. That was good stuff. Developers chose Sanrio as their first private partner after judging that it could get Hello Kitty's many fans interested in space, Tanaka said. Through this project, we can make those people interested and stimulate their scientific curiosity. We can move their hearts, Tanaka told Reuters.
What a what a touching story.
And if any aliens run across that satellite, they'll think that like we put children on them and blast them into outer space.
You guys will have to fill me in after the show. In our second story from the dailymail.co.uk, a bin bag, or for us Americans, trash bag, full of cats' heads found close to Manchester's Curry Mile. No, I lost my spot. I do that every freaking time, don't I?
You read one sentence.
But I scrolled down.
You're on
and
sentence 2.
A bin bag containing severed cats' heads was found dumped on a street near Manchester's famous Curry Mile. Council bosses in Manchester have launched an urgent investigation, and the RSPCA is being contacted. The discovery was made by a council worker who was responding to complaints over fly tipping in Rushholme. Fly tipping is illegal dumping, I found out. I did do some research.
Imagine
He
that.
found a... Yes. He found a... I didn't know what fly tipping was. He found a single black bin bag containing the animal remains close to Walmer Street, East, and Basil Street. A fly tipping memo sent to the councilors and council officials described the contents of the bag as cat heads. The chairman at Wythenshawe? Oh God, our UK fans are going to be mad at me. In Sale East Conservative Association, Stephen Woods said the council should launch an immediate investigation into how this has happened. He said, we're absolutely flabbergasted when we found out about this. It's absolutely disgraceful the way they have been treated. I guess so.
I would be checking local restaurants.
Yeah, no doubt. A Manchester City Council spokesman said an investigation was underway following the discovery on Friday. The spokesman said the find amounted to an extreme example of animal cruelty. He said this is obviously an incredibly distressing and sickening incident, which we are now looking into, but this is the first incident of its kind that we have come across. At this stage, we have no way of knowing how these animal parts came to be where they were, but we will be contacting the RSPCA, and this is clearly an extreme example of animal cruelty.
I would start looking for cat bodies without heads. And it's good to know this is the first time that they found a trash bag full of cat heads.
I would probably also look near there for certain ethnic restaurants that may or may not use cats in there.
That could be on Curry Mile.
Yes.
Just saying.
Our final story of the evening from the Clarion Ledger. Peyton Lassiter and David Childers say they both saw an unusual creature in the woods near downtown Vicksburg, Mississippi, WLBT reported. Childers is co-founder of the Delta Paranormal Project. He was taking photographs in November of 2013 in search for paranormal activity when he saw the creature. Earlier this month, on August 12th, Lassiter says he was walking along Wisconsin Avenue when he saw a giant footprint and later made a cast of it. Lassiter contacted Childers and the men returned to the woods to investigate. I just happened to turn around real quick. I saw this creature. It was about 6-7 foot tall. It's hard to exactly get the correct height because of the distance away from me, but it stood up and just jetted off, and it happened so quick. But I know it was like a grayish brown color. I know for a fact it wasn't a bear or a deer, said Childers. Lassiter describes the cast of the footprint. It's 9 inches long, and the width of what appears to be toes or claws, if you will, is 6 inches wide. That right there isn't human. That right there isn't human.
It ran behind the Piggly Wiggly.
Childers said the encounter happened too fast for him to get a photograph of what he saw. He plans to return to gather evidence and place recording devices in the area. Childers is a participant in Mississippi Parafest, which is set to take place in October in Vicksburg.
Which has nothing to do with the article.
General admission is a measly $10. And that, fellas, is the news.
Wow. That was a riveting story.
Ran behind the Piggly Wiggly.
It was riveting. That was
I'm
amazing.
just saying, the Parafest in the same town just happens to be...
Steve, that Bigfoot encounter was almost as
I
exciting.
think I'm friends with...
It was almost as exciting as watching Alien Abduction.
That right there isn't human. I think I'm friends with both of those guys on Facebook.
Are you fucking serious?
The Appalachian Hillbilly and...
Childers, I'm pretty sure, yes.
Oh, fucking Christ.
Lassiter
You're friends with
sounds familiar.
everybody on fucking Facebook.
Yeah, I get that. People say, well, don't friend this person. They've only had their Facebook account for one day. Well, so what? I'll friend anybody.
I'll friend anybody that moves.
That's right. Because
That's because
I
Steve
believe,
doesn't mind getting pictures of titties on his Facebook wall.
No, if they're an obvious spam, when it's a picture of a beautiful woman. Not that kind of spam. But if it's a picture of a beautiful woman and you go to their profile and says, Mary changed his profile picture, you kind of know that it's not legitimate. So
I have to say this. before Chris cuts us off.
Yes.
I went to the grocery store yesterday, and I thought of you, Steve Alcorn.
Oh, boy.
Oh, wow.
I saw a specific item that I wanted to get your input on.
Okay, go ahead.
Spreadable spam.
Oh, my God. They make spreadable spam?
Oh, see, there you go.
What,
yeah.
Does it come in a tube? Do you, like, squeeze it out like mayo now?
Oh, that
Is it like potted meat?
Yeah, it appears to be like potted meat.
Potted meat meets spam.
Yeah.
What kind of heaven is this? Find me one and send it to me.
This has been episode 47 of the Fortean Slip.
I wonder if they have a website for that.
Anal probes.
SpreadableSpam.com.
Will you shut up and let me fucking end the show?
Oh, go ahead.
Anal probes are for rookies. Click the like
Anal
button.
beads are for pros.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Click the like
And
button.
no, I've never had anything shoved up my ass. To answer your question at the beginning of the show.
Comment below. One of these days I'll get Steve to shut the fuck up at the end of the show so that I can end the show. Click the like button. Comment. Thank you for listening.